let's talk about Roger Smith. I know what you're thinking. Roger Smith? Why is he on here? He's not a speedster. So you think. But he has a couple feats that would make you rethink that, because honestly, he's been known for being fast. He does a lot of the thing that, he does that thing where he's talking to you, but then he's also in another place. So you're looking at him, but then you turn your head to go look over there because you hear a voice, and then it's him. So it looks like he's almost in two places at once, but he's just really fast. He's just running from there to there whilst also changing his clothes and his wig. That is really fast. But also, watch this scene.
What are you doing here? How'd you fake her death anyway?
Oh, that was easy. Love. I can move really, really fast.
That was the scene when he pretended to be a girl and then he had to kill the persona at the end. This man was going super fast. He did the whole Quicksilver type spiel where everything slows down and he's just moving around doing stuff before anything happens. You know what I'm saying? But also, how is he using this phone when he's going this fast? At that speed, that rink-a-dink phone should not be able to process all the functions that he's making with the buttons. But also, this scene, he's literally moving all the bullets. And I talked about Quicksilver earlier, but Quicksilver has a scene like this in the kitchen where he's moving those rubber bullets and Roger's doing the same thing, moving bullets. You know what I'm saying? So he's going super fast. And I think it's time for us to consider him a full-fledged speedster. He may not be the fastest, but he has his own respectable feats. Accelerate. Now, I love Ben 10. It was an integral facet of my childhood. Now, I'm specifically talking about classic Ben 10. I'm not talking about any of the other spin-offs, even the one where he looks like a little cartoony, extra cartoony looking character. I'm just talking about classic Ben 10 with all the classic 10 aliens. And of course, you know, I'm going to talk about Accelerate, who is his speedster alien. There's actually another one called Fast Track, but I'm not going to talk about Fast Track because I think Accelerate is actually slightly better. And also, like I said, I'm only talking about the classic 10. But first, a round of applause to one of the greatest names for an alien. Come on. I know we're older and everyone thinks they're mad creative or whatever, but as a kid, the name was just sweet to me. Spelling it out was nice. Literally letters and numbers. I'm sorry, as you know, I'm a little bit of a spaz and I spaz out on small insignificant things. And yes, I'm in love with the name. But also, apparently, Accelerate's top speed is over 500 miles per hour, around there, which, yeah, I mean, as far as speedsters that we have on this video and the previous video, that may not be extremely impressive, but that was until I saw the baseball game scene. Bro, look at this. You can't tell me that's 500 miles per hour. You can't tell me that's 700 miles per hour. I'm sorry, but you're saying he's going slower than the speed of sound, yet no one notices him? I think if I saw, and I could be wrong, I'm not a physicist, and I've never seen anything go around 500, 600 miles per hour, but I think that's not something that would be faster than what my eyes can process. I would assume that I can see it. But in this scene, he's moving the baseball and he's sabotaging all the players without no one noticing it. And when he's moving the baseball, the scene portrays it as if time slowed down or it stopped and he's moving stuff at like the speed of light. This is extremely fast. For him to be able to do this and for no one to be able to catch this with their naked eye, that's got to be going very fast, way faster than the listed 500 miles per hour that they say he's going. But I have to let you know, even though I love Accelerate, I have to hit you with he's my second favorite character in the show. My favorite alien is, of course, Four Arms. I mean, come on, bro. As a kid, Four Arms, just look at him. That's kind of sick, right? I like the colors. I like the way he's designed. I like the fact that he has 4 arms and that he's strong. I guess the kid version of me wanted to be strong while the adult version of me wants to be fast. It's strange. But yeah, when it comes to the rankings of speedsters, even though Accelerate Speed isn't among the fastest, he does get bumped up a few notches purely off of nostalgia. Also, character design, I mean, this is kind of sick. I don't know what or who is responsible, but whoever the designer is who created Accelerate needs to get a raise. Bro, in fact, I think all the classic aliens look sick. Accelerate's like some type of kangaroo that's on like a wheel. a ball on his feet, and he's got a long tail, which I don't know if they ever stated it. I didn't read it, but maybe the tail helps with balance. I mean, that's definitely true for cheetahs. Cheetahs have long, strong tails, which help them when they're cutting or cornering. So that'd be cool. Basically, I'm saying Accelerate's character design is superb. And I said I'd only talk about the classic 10, but this version of Accelerate, like the green coloring in the middle, is even better looking to me. Mainly because my favorite color is green. But yeah, that's Accelerate, my second favorite alien in Ben 10. Not based off power, but based off subjectivity. Godspeed. Now, why Godspeed, you might ask, aside from the fact that, like Accelerate, he's got a sick name, the costume is sick, and his powers are sick. Now, I know what you're thinking. What about powers? He has the same powers everyone else has on this list. Basically, you mean the power that Quicksilver and the Flash has as well. Yes, you're right, but during the fight that he had with the Flash, he was faster. During that time, he did one thing that Barry Allen couldn't do, which was being in two places at the same time. And the concept was awesome and kind of weird. Let me explain. So Godspeed's real name is August Hart, and his whole spiel is that his brother was killed and he wants revenge. Off of a stroke of luck, he gets struck by lightning, and that gives him super speed just like the Flash. In fact, the Flash even trains him, makes him his protege, and they fight alongside each other, and for the longest, he was a good guy. He and Barry fought side by side, and then weirdly enough, some more people got super speed, and now Barry's training a whole bunch of people to use their powers, which I must state, in a universe where there's a lot of speedsters, it kind of defeats the purpose of them being special. If everyone can run fast, no one is really special. But Godspeed finds a way to stand out amongst a sea of speedsters, because a bunch of speedsters start getting murdered, and it's not cool that Godspeed is killing all these other speedsters, much akin to a shark cannibalizing other sharks. It's the manner in which he kills the speedsters. Now, for you to understand why I find this so cool, you have to watch this.
少しだがもうチャクラが練り終わっこれがリンネガンの能力の一つだうち勝利するのは必然これで That scene was both cool and infuriating to me because up until this point, Naruto was doing his thing, whooping on Sasuke. Of course, they were trading blows, but it just felt like cheating when he did this. Dude, why are you siphoning his chakra? Use your own. But he didn't have any, so he decided to steal some. Of course, I was rooting for Naruto, and I was mad that Sasuke basically cheated, but I also had to respect the power. And that's exactly what Godspeed does. He siphons, well, I guess if you take so much that they die, can you really call it siphoning? He drains the power from the speedsters to the point that they die. And I believe every time he does this, he gets more and more powerful, which is cool. This makes him a cool villain. But as you know, just like any other person, I know I would if some guy kills my brother and I feel like he hasn't gotten sufficient punishment for the crime, which of course no amount of prison time is enough punishment for the crime of murdering a family member of mine, I would also hunt him down and take him out. I would do that without powers, but if you give me powers, I'm not even hesitating. This is exactly what August does. But soon, they find out that it was August who was murdering these speedsters the whole time. But you know, Barry was dumbfounded, flabbergasted. How did he have the time to do everything that you did with me while simultaneously doing everything that you did as Godspeed? And that's when Godspeed let him in on the fact that he can be in two places at the same time, which is absurd and cool at the same time. I mean, this is the closest thing that we get to like a shadow clone jutsu. He essentially clones himself. But when you think about it, this man is running over here, killing people, and then he's going to run really quickly over there to stop crime with Barry. I mean, that's what I'm imagining. This is just running around the whole place, which when you think about it, like, I don't really think it's that cool anymore. But yeah, that was Godspeed. Cool name, cool costume, cool powers. And when he fought Barry, he was stronger. And the only way Barry won was with help. Sonic. All right, first and foremost, allow me to extend an apology to every single one of you people. After I uploaded my previous video about speedsters, I kept seeing one thing. Where's Sonic? Where's Sonic? Where's Sonic? Where's Sonic? You know, at first, I didn't take this seriously. I was just like, oh, people must really like Sonic, the video game character, and they probably wanted to see him. I guess I should talk about him. This was me under the impression that Sonic was a speedster akin to a Dash. So then I decided to do my research because I didn't want to do the people wrong. I wanted
wanted to give justice to Sonic. And even still, even after the bit of research that I did, I still believe I can't fully do Sonic justice. I went from imagining a spectrum. On one hand, and I'm sorry to keep disrespecting Dash, but on one hand, you got Dash, and on the other hand, you have the Flash, Barry Allen, Wally West, the god of the Speed Force, the greatest speedster. When I first heard about Sonic, I believed that he was towards the Dash end of the spectrum, but now I have come to believe that he's all the way in the Barry Allen, the Flash side of the spectrum. We are talking about a damn near limitless being who can manipulate fate itself just with his existence. So obviously, I must mention that I'm talking about Archie Comics Sonic, not the video game character Sonic. They're two different characters, I've come to realize, I've come to find out. And even when I first started doing the script, I was watching some videos about how fast Sonic is in regards to Sonic in the live action movies, and I was getting numbers ranging from 70,000 miles per hour to 1.4 million miles per hour. And I thought this was fast. I thought this was crazy. But now I see these are pittance. Let's start off with his powers. Actually, no, let's start off with the fact that his middle name is Maurice. I found this humorous. When I tell you things like Sonic is powerful enough to destroy a planet, and this is just a basic feat, these are some of his weakest feats, but he can destroy a planet, which is not to be scoffed at. Also, one of my favorite abilities that speedsters who are really fast have is the ability to vibrate their molecules to the point where they can walk through walls and solid surfaces. When I watched the Flash movie, this was one of my favorite things they did in that movie. When Barry Allen went back in time and him and his younger self were walking through, I think, that museum, and then they walked through the wall. That was sick. This is one of my favorite scenes. It's weird, but this is one of my favorite feats that these speedsters have. And I honestly, after hearing all the feats that all these speedsters are capable of, I honestly believe this is one of the least impressive ones, I guess. But Sonic can do this, which is sick. Another one is that apparently he can walk through raindrops when it's raining. I know what you're thinking, but have you ever just heard something that even if other people hear it, they might just brush it off, but you just spaz out on it because you think it's so cool? That's one of those things that I think is mad cool. Just the wording, because when you think about it too hard, you understand that, of course, he can walk through raindrops, but just a visualization in real time would be mad cool. One of the initial videos that I was watching when I was doing my research, they went crazy spastic about the bar scene in the live action movie where everything technically slows down, but it looks like it stopped. And then they were talking about how this is so impressive because it would mean that he somehow is running close to the speed of light. And then they insert a clip of Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about how when you run at the speed of light, everything stops. So them talking about Sonic running up to the speed of light was insane. But then later I find out that Sonic, during a fight against a villain who can stop time, can run at top speed while time is stopped. Now think about that, right? Because that's kind of crazy, right? Doesn't that insinuate that he is faster than the speed of light? Which is pretty mid in Sonic terms, by the way. This man, I don't know if you can call a man, he's a hedgehog, but I would assume he probably identifies as a male. I mean, his middle name is Maurice. But anyways, this man has the raw speed to run across the universe. It was stressed to me by the channel Saiyan Scholar. By the way, check that channel out. They made a very informative video about like Archie Sonic that low-key instigated my mind being blown by Sonic's power levels. Not only can he run across universes, but he has been in fights that have caused the destruction of universes. And let's get even crazier. Sonic has defeated beings that are powerful enough to destroy millions of universes with their bare hands. After hearing all this, I have come to the conclusion that Sonic is a limitless speedster. He belongs in the pantheon of the greatest speedsters. He is invulnerable, his power is universal, and he is unstoppable. Sonic is a god. And again, I extended my deepest apologies for not respecting him, for not giving him the respect that he deserved initially. But ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. Please give it up for Sonic the Hedgehog.